one and only Carl. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Are you all ready? Do you have your pens? Do you have your pads? Are you ready? Because we are talking tonight about increasing your visibility. Like Teresa mentioned, I'm Carol McCloney. If you don't know me or have seen me on one of our previous sessions, I am part of the TQM team at Faith City Central. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we are going to dive right in. Today, we're talking, of course, about increasing your visibility, and we said this is going to be a bit of a workshop style. We're going to put some legs to some of our ideas, some of our thoughts around increasing our visibility at work, in our businesses, in ministry, and even in life, our home life, because our families are affected by everything that we do. So let's just put a definition to this word visibility, and then we'll get right in. So what is visibility? There we go. Visibility is the state of being able to see or be seen, or to be known about. So it's the state of being able to see or to be seen or known about. It's also the distance one can see as determined by light and weather conditions. So the visibility might be, a bit blurred, based on the weather or the lighting that is available to us. The degree to which something has attracted general attention or prominence. It's the capability of being readily noticed. So let's keep all of these definitions in mind, even as we talk about how to increase our visibility. So why be more visible? Why be more visible? Who wants to take a stab at that? Why is it important for us to be visible in the workplace and to raise our profile in our homes, raise our profiles in our businesses? Anyone can unmute and just quickly give your perspective on it.
Well,
For me,
I believe you should be visible. Being visible, having visibility is important when you're on your job. You want to get noticed for doing an exemplary or an outstanding above and beyond call of duty job, or when you help someone excel in their job or something like that. It's good to be noticed.
Yes, yes. You are absolutely right. And I think for those of us who want to be more visible, we want to be more visible for a specific reason. Not only do we want to be noticed, but we want the rewards of being noticed as well. So let's talk a little bit about why be more visible. For one, it builds your personal brand awareness. People get to know about you. They get to know who you are, what you can do, what your competencies are. And if you're a business owner, it's your business brand awareness. So you get in front of more customers, you get in front of more partners who could be competitors, but also be very much future collaborators. But to get ahead in your career or your business, it pays to be visible. So getting people to know you and what you do can lead to promotions or even some really interesting assignments. On the other hand, if people don't know who you are or what you do, just putting your head down and doing your work is not very good for your advancement opportunities. So if you want to be noticed, if you want to be mentioned in the room where decisions are being made or be suggested for career shaping projects or opportunities or even landing a promotion, workplace visibility is absolutely essential. People with higher visibility tend to not only land promotions, but they have a better chance of getting a positive performance review or more recognition or even better increases in salary. But if you are out of sight, you are out of mind. No one's thinking about you if you're not visible. And that can be a problem in terms of your own advancement. So it pays to be visible. Now let's talk. Yes, I see there. Mention us in rooms where favorable decisions are being made. So being visible also comes with some privileges. Workplace visibility means that your work is noticed, it's acknowledged, and most importantly, it's valued. So increasing your visibility allows you not just to work hard, but to work smart and even to take some shortcuts along the way to success. It comes with some privileges. And people who have the privilege of visibility, of being visible to their supervisors, to the leaders in their organization, they experience three main interactions, which are privileges. The first of this is the invitation. The invitation. The invitation to the party. Come to the party. Come join us, right? You're looped into the important information that is being passed around in the company. You're asked to be part of projects, to lead teams, and to take on new roles. So this is them saying, come to the party, right? Come join in on some of these opportunities. So again, visibility can open doors to new opportunities that might otherwise will stay closed to you if you're not part of the party, if you haven't received that invitation. And some of these opportunities could even be hidden from you. Some opportunities just aren't spoken about in the workplace, but they are happening. And then the second interaction is participation. Participation. This is after you've gotten the invitation, you've come to the party, you've come to the table. Now they're asking you to dance with us, to dance with us. So participation means that you have a notable and fundamental contribution to the work. You're making a contribution. Visibility in this case will allow you to have more influence with your supervisors, leaders, decision makers, which is a must-have for any aspiring leader. Influence is so, so very important. In that case, anyone can be a leader because you don't need to be the decision maker. You just need to be the one who has influence, who can influence the decision maker. And then there's validation. That's when you're in there, you're making a contribution, and they're like, yeah, we're so glad you came. Let's do it again and again and again, right? We're so glad you're here. And validation means your work is valued, it's recognized, it's approved, and even rewarded with things like securing a promotion, maybe gaining a larger purview or scope of work, or being given increased control and autonomy over your work. It's also a great way to expand your network. The same influencers who invited you to the party and value your contributions, they can introduce you to other decision makers, other people in other departments, cross-functional teams, if you're in a job that has several different teams, for instance, or even to those in their external networks, their networks outside of that particular workplace. So this helps you even to build your own network. This is what validation can do for you. And indeed, it is a privilege because those valuable contacts, you may need them in the future. And we're all about building and nurturing relationships in the workplace. We talked about that at our last session quite extensively. So moving on. This session is a bit of a workshop session, so I will have some rapid fire questions for you. And one is coming up. But before I give you that question, I need you to just know I'm only giving you 1 minute to answer those questions. So have pen and paper in hand so you could rapidly put the first thoughts that come to your mind on paper. We're helping you to build your visibility strategy during this session. So you want to really rapid fire answer these questions as quickly as possible without overthinking analysis paralysis. We're just going to put something on paper and we can later reflect on it and revise or refine it. So here's the first one. Pen and paper in hand. Why do you want to be more visible? Why do you want to be more visible? And answering the question of why forms the basis of your visibility strategy, because you'll know where you're going, but also why you're heading in that direction in the first place. You want to know where you're going and why you're going there. The second question is, what is one or two unique qualities or strengths or skills that you possess that you haven't really showcased in the workplace? Just think about it really rapid fire and just put something on paper. And if you're a business owner, that question is, what capabilities does your business possess that is unknown or not well known to your customers or partners? So I'm going to start the clock. Everybody okay to move on? All right, here we go. Starting the clock. 1 minute. Just put your first thoughts on paper. Answer that question of why. It's a critical one. All right, wrapping up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Unique qualities, strengths you possess. All right, we're done. I hope you took the chance to write something down because we're going to build as we go. Anyone wants to do a quick share? A quick share. What's your why for why you want to be more visible? Anyone want to do a quick share? If not, we'll move on. All right, I'm moving on.
I think Sharon, did you raise your
Oh,
hand?
okay, I didn't see
Okay.
your hand there. Oh,
No.
there's Digna as well. Let's take Sharon, just one person this time. Okay, I see in the comments as well. Sharon, you're muted. All right, so I see promotion, increase. I'm very private and need to share. I want to glorify God. These are all really good whys. Why you want to be more visible. Okay, I see Sharon is typing. I want to excel. Yes, we're going to talk about that later in the presentation as well. To accomplish goals that you set forth. That's Billy. Awesome, awesome. I'm loving these responses. All right, we're going to move on so we could cover more ground here. But if you haven't, as we talk, maybe they'll come to mind. And I wanted to bring up this quote from our pastor, our apostle pastor, Mike Freeman. He says, what you become, you will attract. What you become, you will attract. And so even as leaders, we need to become what we want to attract. So if we want to attract increase and promotion, we want to be more visible, then we need to make sure that we are becoming someone who can handle and has the capacity for that increase and promotion. because a leader leads, right? We are leaders and we need to lead in excellence and integrity, but we must become that before we receive promotion and increase, which means we have to work on ourselves. We have to change our mindsets. We have to take responsibility for our own career trajectory and taking on the mindset of a leader and a problem solver. Pastor Mike said this the other day. He said, wake up, sit up, and grow up. And sometimes we need to do just that to be able to advance in our careers. So let's talk about this issue of your personal brand, And I'm going to move a little quicker so we don't run out of time. But it starts with doing the inner work on you. Doing the inner work on you. You are your brand, and your reputation will always precede you. So you have to ask yourself, what is the message, the reputation that you are sending forward ahead of your arrival? When people think of you, what do they think about? Is it that they're excited when they think about you? Are they thinking, yes, this person is competent and qualified? What are people thinking when your name is mentioned? And to be able to really advance, to be able to really become more visible, we must work on our personal brand, especially as we increase in levels of leadership. Your personal brand is the way you present yourself to the world based on your core values, your skills, your goals, your opinion. It's the reputation you have and the value that you bring as a professional or business owner. So it starts with having a spirit of excellence, operating at a high level of quality consistently, not one time, but consistently, determining that you are there to make a difference and you're going to do that with excellence and integrity. You must adapt the mindset that everything is better when you are there. Whatever you put your hands to is going to be blessed. So excellence is who you are. So don't be average, be excellent, continually demonstrating excellence. This should be, I think, everyone's core value, at least one of them, us having a spirit, embracing a spirit of excellence. The other thing you want to adapt is to be a problem solver. Problem solvers are rewarded. You are the offspring of a creative God. So you should be innovating. You should be solving problems creatively. You can tap into the wisdom of God and Holy Spirit and come up with some creative solutions and witty ideas right there in the workplace. This is who you are. You are a problem solver. And this is something and a mindset you must put on. You must also understand the big picture, And this is where a lot of people fail. Because understanding the big picture means that you will understand that you are there to serve. You are there to serve. You are there to produce and to serve the interests of the organization you're working for. Applicable also to the home, applicable to your business. You are there to serve and to produce. And the problem is most people are at the job for their own interests without realizing that there's a bigger picture at play here. You are on mission as a kingdom citizen in the workplace. But the big picture is that you are there to serve. You should focus on reducing the company's risk, for instance, right? Doing good while you're there, creating effective and efficient processes to make the work smoother, to make the work more easy and efficient. The big picture is you are there to serve. And as we learned in the last session, sometimes you have to volunteer your time, your talent, and your abilities for a while so that you can get the skills and resource and get the connections and resources you need to be able to be ready for the next level. So the big picture is that you are there to serve. You should be putting your best foot forward to produce for your employer or your family or your business. The other suggestion here is to leave your comfort zone. Be willing to function differently and in different roles so that you can fully maximize your opportunities for growth. Leave your comfort zone. You cannot grow in your comfort zone. Be a continuous learner as well. Remain curious, never stop learning, keep reading, keep going to seminars, keep going to workshops like this one, keep going to training opportunities. For some of you, you may need to get a certification. For others, it may mean you go on and get that degree, but be a continuous learner so that you could continue not only to just learn, but also to get the information and knowledge and understanding you need that would position you for increase and promotion. Also, increase your self-awareness. Know thyself. Know your abilities, your tendencies, your limitations. Be ready to advocate for yourself based on your own awareness of your capabilities and your ability to contribute to the workplace and the mission and vision of the organization you work for. So it's all about that personal brand. It's all about that personal brand. So here's another rapid fire question for you. Do you have a clear understanding of your personal brand and how you can align it with the mission, values, and goals of your workplace? And if not, what are those steps that you can take to really begin defining your personal brand? And I'm going to go back really quickly here. And we talked about a spirit of excellence, being a problem solver, understanding the big picture, leaving your comfort zone. You've got to be willing to learn and grow and to stretch, being a continuous learner, increasing your self-awareness as well. So where do you see yourself in all of this? Do you have an understanding of what you bring to the table as your personal brand? So I'm going to start the clock. I see dwell in the stretch zone. Yes, we have to dwell in the stretch zone, continuous learning. And let's get that rapid fire question answered for ourselves. When people think of you, do they think of someone who can help with what they need? What is that reputation that you have? What is that message that you're sending that goes ahead of you, waiting for your arrival? So really quickly, jot down some thoughts. I'm only giving a minute because I don't want you to think about it too much. The first thing that comes to mind. I have to leave my comfort zone. Yes, Marcia. Love it. I show up every time on time. All right. Jot something down on paper. Don't let the question go by. Put something down on paper. Yes, problem solver with a spirit of excellence. All right, all right. I give ideas. Yes, Marcia. At my place of employment, I'm thought of as being helpful. I think I saw there before it went up, being a helper and can do. I probably could stretch, be a subject matter expert in your skill set. Yes, loving it, loving it. All right, daily inspiration and encouragement. Yes, and we're not forgetting people in ministry. You need to answer this question as well. What is your personal brand? Whether you're in ministry or business or at the workplace, what is your personal brand? It affects your ability to gain visibility as well as to get increase and promotion. So we are talking about leadership on every level. Whether you have a title or a position does not matter. You can lead on every level within an organization, within your family, within ministry, within business. And here's Matthew chapter 5, verse 14 to 16, which is the theme scripture of Faith City Central. It says, "You are the light of the world." So you are the light even in your workplace. You are there on a mission. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Your light, therefore, should not go out. You should be a light in a dark place. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. So you're operating in excellence, in integrity, being a problem solver because you are this world's answer. You do know that, right? You are your workplace's answer. You are the answer in your family. You are this world's answer. So you need to lead on every level. Lead on every level and be the light that we are called to be. So let's jump in. How do you increase your visibility? So we talked about developing that personal brand. We also talked about the need for professional development. But you must start with the goal of meeting needs, serving others, and with the identity of being a leader and problem solver. You have to put that on, that you are a leader and you are the answer to the world's problems, your organization's problems, your family's challenges. It's about changing your lens and your perspective on how you view yourself. There is a need awaiting you. I love that. I love that. So you're there to make an impact. You're not just there for a transaction. 40 hours of work for a paycheck. That's a transaction. You are there to make impact. You are there on a mission. You must therefore be visible to create greater impact. You must be visible. It's not a choice. In order to complete the mission and assignment that you have at that workplace, you must be visible. You must be visible. And the byproduct of that is the increase and promotion that you seek. Last session, we talked about sowing and reaping, sowing of your time, sowing of your talents, sowing of your abilities, right? And reaping that in your future success, reaping that in your increase, in promotion. So the other aspects of this is effective communication. Effective communication. It's about speaking up at the workplace, speaking up at meetings. Some of us are too quiet, too reserved, and we're not speaking up and demonstrating to the decision makers that we are thinking critically about the issues faced in the workplace. So we need to speak up in meetings and show our knowledge and ability to think critically. So we need to practice, get better at sharing our accomplishments or our team successes if we lead a team. We have to know what is important to our leadership and be responsive to that. That also is part of communicating. We ought to add value in the workplace. And one way to do that is to be responsive to the needs that are in the workplace. Be bold enough to seek high visibility projects. Don't shy away from that. The more visibility you get, the more your work is noticed and recognized. So seek those high visibility projects if you can, and volunteer to represent your team, maybe in cross-departmental meetings that may increase your visibility as well. So it's about effective communication in the workplace that will help you to increase your visibility. And if you have some challenges with speaking up and sharing. When you go to a meeting, instead of going there just unprepared, prepared to sit in the back and just listen in, look at the meeting's agenda. See what is going to be discussed at the meeting beforehand, and think about some questions that you might have about the topics, the issues that will be discussed. And prepare a few questions, prepare some comments, and that would help you to have a little bit more confidence going into the meeting. So planning ahead, if you're the quieter type, or you're not sure what to say, or you're challenged with speaking up in public, prepare in advance and gain the confidence that way to be able to speak up. Also, one other aspect of communicating is communicating with those influencers in the workplace, like your manager. Let your manager know very plainly that you want to increase your visibility in the workplace. And when you have your one-on-one meetings or maybe team meetings, use the time to discuss what's going well, ask for suggestions, feedback on your work, how you could add more value to the team or to the organization, and find out from your manager or supervisor what are some opportunities that may be coming up that could help you to raise your profile. So don't be shy about speaking up. Speak to your manager, speak to other influencers, look at others who are visible in the workplace and ask them how they are, they may give you some tips, for instance, on how they work on, raising their profile and increasing their visibility in the workplace. So the other thing is to build or to nurture relationship. And that's really about connection, connecting and building relationship with those you admire, your colleagues, as well as your superiors, right? With the intention of understanding how they earn their visibility, how they earn their increase, how they earn promotion. And Minister Teresa gave us a number of tips on that last time. So I would highly encourage you to watch the replay of our first session. But even go a step further and work alongside these people that you admire, or people who are especially visible. You may be able to contribute to what they are doing and make them look good. And in that doing that, you will become more visible to them as well, because you're adding value. You increase the potential to earn their support. They're advocating for you, their sponsorship of you, even when you are present in their daily activities or projects, or looking to make their lives easier. So it will help you to grow your network as well. And then also on the professional development side, it's about developing a love of learning. Ask about, volunteer for learning opportunities that would help you to expand your skills. All the better if those opportunities benefit those higher ups, those key stakeholders, because again, they will advocate for you, your promotion. And then be proactive. Don't sit around and wait for opportunities to come to you. And I think that kind of comes back to, getting feedback from your manager, developing your personal brand. It's you taking charge of your own career development. No one's going to do it for you. So you must be proactive. You have to take action, whether it's a little by little. Take one or two things that you can do to begin moving the ball towards your securing those increases and promotions and being more visible in the workplace. So how are we doing? We're good? Be proactive reminder. Great, Billy. How are we doing? We're good? Good? All right, moving on. So here's another rapid fire question for you. We're building. These questions are intentional. By the end of this session, you should have something you walk away with here that has a few steps that can help you take this now and move forward in terms of increasing your visibility by taking action. So here's one. Have you actively sought opportunities to take on leadership roles or responsibilities in the past? If not, how can you begin expressing your interest and readiness for some of those roles? And I gave you some tips, from talking to your manager to talking to other visible colleagues. List 2 or 3 things you can begin doing now. And if you have sought those opportunities, what is the next step for you? What is the next step for you? We're seeing more in 24 because more is available to you, and you should never stop growing. You should never stop reaching, and you should never stop stretching. So what is the next step for you? I'm going to start the timer now. Ready, set, let's go. Mm-hmm. Yes, volunteered with colleagues and supervisors. Wow, Marcia, you're in Jamaica to start a charitable organization, become certified, build my brand, and get out there. Yes, yes. Now we're answering the how, right? How can you make this possible? Attend classes in your area of expertise. Yes. Networking more, or rather building relationships more, because for some people that word networking is petrifying, right? It's about building relationships and making connections. Not allowing past experiences to shy me away from new opportunities. Oh, I understand that. Start my own business and take classes on how to start. Yes, yes. Awesome. And Teresa added joining a local board. Joining a local board. Canvas your field. Okay, so do some research. Attend a conference outside of your industry to build personal. Oh, I lost it. Attend trade associations, reading documents to assist, yeah, in the work that is going on in your industry. Very, very well. Love it. Love it. All right, we're going to do another one. Here you go. How intentional are you in building and nurturing professional relationships within and outside your immediate team or department, or even your organization? And what steps can you take to improve in this area? I think we can always do better in this area. We always can. So list 1 to 2 steps that you can begin taking now to help you intentionally build and nurture professional relationships. All right, so I'll start the timer now. Really do answer these questions. You can refine it later, but let's put that visibility strategy on paper, that initial draft of it. Schedule touch point meetings with colleagues. Yes, yes. Ask for more suggestions on how to improve. How can you build those relationships? Relationships are critical for life. You never know when a relationship would be needed. Relationships are critical for life. Have many meetings. Yeah, yeah. Touch points, right? Relationships are critical for life. Yes, yes. All right, our timer is done. Network with successful, I guess, people that have succeeded. Okay. Moving makes it hard. I get that. College alumni functions. Now that's an idea. Sure. Because you may find that some of the alumni from your college actually are in your same industry and you may never have known. Yeah, that's a good way to make connections. Get a coach. That's awesome as well. That's awesome as well. Which I had mentoring on the last slide and I probably forgot to mention it, but absolutely get the mentoring you need. Don't if you aren't able to get to success quickly, a coach is a great idea. Even within your organization, mentors are a great idea. If you want to go fast, get a coach. Get a coach. Or they may know someone in your area. Yeah, for sure. I hope everyone got something on paper. I think this is the final one. Do you actively participate in workplace discussions, meetings, or collaborative efforts, whether it's cross-departmental, cross-teams? And if not, how can you gradually start making your voice and ideas more prominent and impactful? And if you do, how can you amp that up? How can you make your voice even more prominent and impactful, right? It's amplifying your voice, making yourself more visible in the workplace. All right, so I am going to start the timer. Put something down on paper, even if it's one sentence, put it down on paper. Let's go. Absolutely, Teresa. I see that. You can spearhead that discussion. Okay, awesome, Billy. Awesome. Know your audience, yes. Yeah, sometimes we need to hone those soft skills, right? Empathy, you know, being able to collaborate in a way that comes to a win-win solution, become more social, build collaboration. And for a lot of people, this can be a very intimidating thing, whether it's speaking up and in groups or you know, giving their opinions in the workplace for fear of being judged or fear of being I don't know, maybe criticized. And Teresa actually raised a good point about if your workplace doesn't have such groups, you can actually start one. You can start one. If you have something that you're interested in and is applicable to the work that you do, relevant to the work that you do, then by all means, get a couple of colleagues together over lunch or, you know, a break time and absolutely have discussions over those issues. It may be that you then are seen as a leader in problem solving some of the issues that the organization faces. So be proactive again. Take the initiative to bring communities of people together to solve problems. Be that problem solver. At the same time, because you are the offspring of a creative God, you ought to be innovating and thinking, how can I solve problems? How can I help my organization increase its bottom line? How can I help my organization avert this risk? How can I help my organization solve this issue? Maybe it's turnover with employees or some other issue. Be of value. Be of value. That's the important thing. And speaking up in these discussions and meetings or working on these collaborative efforts helps you to show yourself as a leader and someone who's thinking critically about these issues. So that's the last of the rapid fire question. Be the problem solver. Yes, and Holy Spirit absolutely is your helper. Lean to Holy Spirit. He will give you ideas. He will give you ideas and insights, things that are happening even in the background that you may not be aware of. He could download that to you and have you come up with a solution. So again, going back to leadership on every level. Pastor Dwayne said this one. He said, if you observe the ones who serve, they are the ones making things better for everybody. People who don't serve don't want to make things better for others. And I know sometimes the workplace can be a tricky place. Sometimes it's highly political. Sometimes we have leaders who don't behave like adults. Sometimes we have issues that are unbelievable in the workplace. But my heart and my suggestion to you really is to be excellent anyway. Be excellent anyway. Be that problem solver anyway. Because you're not there, you're there for those people, to serve those people in agape and honor, but you're also there in service to the King. And you have to focus on your mission. I pray all day. I know some workplaces can be very toxic, but like I mentioned earlier, you are excellent. You are a problem solver. And who you are is excellent. Who you are is a problem solver. And that is not situational. Being excellent or being a problem solver is not situational, because that's who you are. And who you are doesn't change. The situation may change, the circumstances you face may change, but who you are doesn't change. You are excellent. You are a leader. You are a problem solver. So regardless of what's going on, keep your eyes on what's important. Keep your eyes on what's important. So Pastor Mike says this one. He says, regarding the believer, heaven should not be your goal. God wants his will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. He wants people who would embrace his standards. And one of his standards is a standard of excellence. And live godly lifestyles so the world can see his light through you. So the world, the people at your workplace should see his light through you. Because when you show up at that workplace, you bring that light into a dark place. When you show up at that workplace, you bring the standards of heaven to that workplace. Whether it's excellence, operating in integrity, being a problem solver. I mean, you can just sit in your living room on your couch and just look around. You will see things requiring your attention. You are by nature a problem solver because you are designed to be this world's answer. You don't sit around and wait for somebody else to do it. You take the initiative. You are the proactive one. That's who you are. So I just want to encourage you to remember to put on this identity that you are a leader, You are excellent and you are a problem solver. And that's going to help you to increase your visibility in the workplace. And the byproduct of that is your own increase and promotion. So thank you so, so very much for your attention. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight. And of course, you can reach us at training@fccentral.org if you have any comments, any questions, or suggestions for us as well. Thank you so much.
OMG. Let's give Carol a hand. Oh my word. That was fire. That was fire. I see in the comments, there's like, great job, Carol. This was awesome. Hands up. The White House is clapping.